Well, I want to put out this video about Boss Hogg, Marion County, Florida, and the Confederate flag. And actually, this is one damn good thing that Boss Hogg of Marion County, Florida, did. Is actually he restored the Confederate flag in the county, and actually that made some national news and state news at the time. Um, you know, I'm so sick of these major media freaking Mongols trying to freaking tell everybody in the South what to do and what to think. And it's good that Boss Hogg had the power to stand up to the damn powers in the media. And here he is getting on his radio, talking to his deputies and making sure the Confederate flag is protected. Also, he's making sure all those DUI checkpoints are out there for the good citizens of Marion County and Hazard County, Georgia, because he operates both counties. You didn't know he operated Marion County, Florida, besides Hazard County, Georgia. He operates Marion County. And, of course, he has those deputies let the judges fly right through because you know to deal with that, right? So, yeah, and anybody from it's North Central Florida knows what the hell I'm talking about. I know Boss Hogg's getting pissed off at me right now, but I tell you what, Boss Hogg, actually, I think you're a pretty damn good guy. You're a straight-up person, and I really think very highly for you for restoring that Confederate flag up at the county. And, we, the good old boys in Marion County and Hazard County, Georgia, and Marion County, Florida, we really think highly of you. Now, I just want to tell you that this really hit the news back when this happened. This was after the shooting at the South Carolina church, where Dylan Roof was in there and did the massacre, and then he pulled down all these flags. Later on, I think you can see this on my channel. Actually, it was I did an analysis on the pictures that were released from the Southern Poverty Law Center from Dylan Roof, and it turned out that two of those pictures had the Confederate flag airbrushed into Dylan Roof's hand. And then they went around with those two main pictures, and they said, "Yeah, the Confederate flag did the shooting." No, they didn't. Damn it! And you tell you what, George Soros, we got you. We caught you again. But considering I'm on the side of Boss Hogg all the way. Well, not quite, but most of the way on some issues. In this one issue for sure, the Confederate flag, I just got to put that out there because I think Boss Hogg did the right thing, standing firm. And here we have. Roscoe P. Coltrane looking up at the flag from Marion County or Hazard County, Georgia, or Marion County, Florida, and along with the good old boys, and he's just respecting the hell out of that flag because you know what? That flag is more than heritage. You know what it means? Rebellion. Rebellion against the draconian taxes and the ways of coming down from Washington, D.C. Actually, one of the biggest problems we got in the South is carpetbaggers coming down from like Detroit, Michigan, or Chicago, whatever, and then, you're giving a place a bad name. Actually, I think that's where a lot of the corruption's coming from. Now, Boss Hogg is a regular Southern corruption, and Southern corruption it may be about as corrupt, but it's got a different flair to it. And here we have the Boss Hogg mobile with the horns on it, with the on the hood emblem, and of course the Confederate flag license plate. And with that Confederate flag license plate and those horns, he can sail through any DUI checkpoint. And I'll tell you what, a lot of times judges in the county of Marion County, Florida, or Hazard County, Georgia, they borrow his car quite often when they get drunk at the boar's nest because they know they will sail right through those DUI checkpoints with this special vehicle versus you, the citizen, who won't, right? Now, people in North Central Florida, you know what I'm talking about. But I'll tell you what, I think the Confederate flag is great for family get-togethers. Doesn't mean anything what it meant before, but to me, it still means revolution because, if we ever try to secede from the United Nations, if we ever try to secede from NATO, you know what would be happening? We'd have a fight on our hands. And I think that's why the powers that be don't like this flag. That's really what it comes down to, man. They're always trying to stage events and do different things and airbrush pictures of somebody holding a Confederate flag in their hand left and right to make it look like to make their point. But we catch him every time because this kid is pretty smart. And I'll tell you that right now. Size 7 is pretty damn smart. And I tell you that, they ain't getting nothing over on me. And I'm going to let Boss Hogg know what's going on because Boss Hogg is going to take care of this George Soros guy once and for all. And here he's loading up one of the deputies' vehicles because we're going to stake a lookout on that Southern Poverty Law Center and that George Soros funded organization because if he tries any kind of funny business again with this Confederate flag, trying to airbrush pictures in with people's hands, well, we're gonna nab him right in the right there and then. So this is Roscoe P. Coltrane's vehicle being shipped off to the George Soros headquarters, and he's going to have a stakeout. So, Boss Hogg is a pretty good guy overall, and he's got his flaws. There's no doubt about it. He's got to watch with smoking that cigar, though, because we don't want to get lung cancer. But just to tell you, if you ever did, we got the Spooky 2 Rife Central plasma machine that could take care of any kind of lung cancer that Boss Hogg will ever have. And long life to you, Boss Hogg of Marion County, Florida. And he runs both Hazard County, Georgia, and Marion County, Florida. Believe me. And just to just tell you a couple things here. This was actually off a Harvard study, and obviously these boys in Harvard didn't even have the highlights right on this chart. But just to give you a little more broad spectrum of really what goes on in the nation. They got this thing they did a study on illegal corruption and legal corruption in states, and they showed the states that showed up on both lists. Now, what's legal corruption? Oh, that's like legal payoffs to the legislature, lobbyists and things like that. Illegal corruption is like when you bribe a judge or something. So, I don't know if you even call it bribing a judge, because they're actually the ones bribing the citizens. So that's the way it goes. They shake them down to give you a good favorable rating. Anyway, so you got the most corrupt. Yeah, you got Kentucky, you got Alabama, you got Georgia. And Kentucky, I don't know if that's quite south or all the way, but Kentucky, Alabama, and Georgia. But then you have up north, you got Illinois, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. They go on both lists, and you got New Mexico. Now, for least corrupt, you have like Idaho, Massachusetts, which I find hard to believe they're least corrupt, and North Dakota, South Dakota, Vermont, Michigan, and Oregon. And Vermont should be highlighted on this side. I didn't make this chart. Some Harvard yo-yo did, and he freaking missed highlighting the other side. And actually, for legal corruption, Tennessee is down there too. So I'm thinking about going up to Tennessee, tell you the truth, up there in the mountains. Florida and California and Texas are actually, over the years, have hit the top 3 list all the time. Not only are they large states, but they're very corrupt states. New York is on that. New Jersey's on that. And actually, I got a theory that New York and New Jersey probably get away with more stuff because it's just business as usual, I don't think Boss Hogg is as slick as some of the people up there in New Jersey, New York. So he tends to get caught up in the traps set up by the Duke boys. So you know the deal there. But yeah, I really do say some hats off to Boss Hogg and its support of the Confederate flag. And he is a good old boy that's with the family values and everything, and down deep. Even though he's corrupt on the outside, when you get that corrupt skin peeled off, he's a good old jelly bean, good guy from the South. So anyway, I just want to put this out, and for people that are familiar with what goes on in counties in Florida, whether it's Citrus County, Lake County, Polk County, Osceola County, Volusia County, whatever, you know what goes on in Florida, right? Jefferson County, Clay County, Hudson County, you know what goes on in Florida. Not to mention Palm Beach County. It's South Florida. They got a different kind of corruption here, so maybe not the Boss Hogg style, but they got their own corruption. But yeah, Boss Hogg, I think you're a pretty good guy, and I really take your flavor of corruption over the stuff that comes out of the North any day. And good health to you, long life, and keep that Confederate flag flying. And I mentioned Marion County because Marion County was a county that got very famous for flying the Confederate flag after everybody got scared and pulled it down. They pulled it down for like 24 hours, and then the county commissioners voted unanimously to put it back up. And I was like, good. And actually, the county commissioners can be pretty much categorized as, the assistants of the Boss Hogg apparatus. But, they do some good things, I can tell you that right now. And, that's just how it is. That's just how it is. It's just that I favor the southern corruption over the northern corruption any day. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So, anyway, over and out. Just figured I'd put this out. And if you're from Florida, Georgia, Alabama, And you know what I'm talking about. I mean, in Tennessee, you're probably going to have a hell of a lot less corruption in what's going on in some of the, I guess, Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Hazard County, Georgia, Marion County. Well, Marion, I shouldn't even pick on Marion County. I mean, I was picking on them because I don't know why I was picking on them, but I was just making a point with they're the guys that put the I think that was great they did that. To tell you the truth, they put the Confederate flag back up. I agree with that 110%. And we got to, it's like when they make something politically incorrect. You know what that makes me want to do? Side with the political incorrectness. And I tell you what, you know, Boss Hogg, I think he did the right thing by putting that flag back up here in Hazard County, Georgia, and Marion County, Florida. So hats off to you, Boss Hogg.